Welcome to my American History Notes, which is a survey of American history, conclusions I've drawn from studying American history, which you may not agree with, but you should know about the events, the times, the eras, to get a picture or be able to converse in American history. There's no excuse to be ignorant. The truth is out there, the information is out there, the evidence out there. It's free. You just have to sort through what you're reading um, to try to find out the truth. So I'm going to talk about Andrew Jackson's presidency, which changed everything. The imperial president and almost king became an ever present danger lurking in the background of American presidential politics. Vox populi, vox dei, or the voice of the people was the voice of God, became an important philosophy as the country moved closer and closer toward democracy and further away from the Republican ideals upon which it was originally based. Andrew Jackson believed that rather than being held accountable to and held in check by the other two branches of government, that he was more accountable directly to the people. Andrew Jackson had been a lawyer after being captured in the Revolutionary War and being struck by a British officer's saber, leaving lifelong scars. It seems that the 13-year-old Andrew refused to shine the officer's boots and received the saber for not doing so. He married his wife Rachel in 1791 under some controversy, as it was later questioned whether or not she was officially divorced from her last husband. Madly in love with her, he never got over her death or the gossip and innuendo she suffered before he took office as president. And in his biography, it is said that he slept with her picture over his bed the rest of his life. That was a biography by Remini. In 1795, Jackson was a member of the Tennessee Constitutional Convention and then a U.S. representative from Tennessee and a U.S. senator. From 1798 to 1804, he was a judge of the Tennessee Superior Court. He served as a major general in the War of 1812 and commanded U.S. troops in the Seminole War in Florida, becoming provisional governor of the territory of Florida in 1821. Returning to the Senate from 1823 to 1825, he finally became president, serving from 1829 to 1837 as the seventh president of the United States. He was a wildly loved American hero, adulated by Americans everywhere. Even his enemies, like Senator Benton had been, even in being involved in a sort of duel with Jackson in his youth, often became friends and admirers. Jackson looked older than his 61 years when he began his presidency, suffering from tuberculosis and bullets lodged in his body all of his adult life. He felt that he had personally had little left to live for but his country when Rachel died. His famous estate, known as the Hermitage, provided him little joy after her death. His friends didn't believe he would live to complete his first term. His first years were chaotic and unproductive. Jackson created what came to be called as a spoils system for the years he was in power, although he never created enough jobs to satisfy his hangers on and the opportunity seekers that surrounded him. Former President Adams, like his father, did not attend his successor's inauguration. One of Jackson's main goals was to eliminate the national debt and counteract the tremendous waste in government he saw. He promised reform and insisted that his beloved military should be subordinate to the civil power. Some say that he spent far too much of his first term defending his friend, Senator Eaton, whose wife had an unsavory reputation in Washington circles. In a type of repeat of Jackson's own marriage, Eaton, his campaign manager, had married the daughter of a boarding house owner who had been married to another man, a Navy officer who died at sea. The questions raised about an illicit affair before the man's death caused a great stir. Eaton married at Jackson's urging. With Mrs. Eaton being snubbed by the wives of most of Jackson's cabinet, he was barely on speaking terms with them due to his own personal defense of the couple, remembering how he and Rachel had been forced to suffer. Jackson began to rely on the advice of his personal political supporters for public policy decisions, and these were called his quote kitchen cabinet. John Calhoun was his vice president and used the scandal to set himself up as a righteous protector of the virtue of womanhood, thereby creating a rift with Jackson. Jackson promised his Secretary of State, Martin Van Buren, in 1831 that Jackson would help him succeed as the next president. Van Buren was a calculating and clever Northern politician, but was loyal to Jackson. When Jackson's cabinet was reshuffled over the affair of Mrs. Eaton in 1831, he was able to get things done with a cabinet loyal to him. We're going to continue with Jackson. We have a couple of things, sessions about Jackson, because some momentous events that are important in our history. But we'll stop for now. And thank you for watching.